Before I really get into the topic of this lecture, I want to address why the name Yahuwah. Well, it comes from what they call Tetragrammaton, the Yod He Vav He. Of course, in the King James Bible, it's rendered as Jehovah. Some say, well, there's no J, so it should be Yehovah. And others say, well, there's no V either, so it should be Yahuwah. Others say, no, it's Yahweh. And I have settled on Yahuwah. I was sort of a Yehovah guy for a while. And I understand Yahweh too. I'm not, first of all, let me just tell you right up front, I am not a sacred namer. Okay, I'm not. I recognize that God has a name, and his name is not God, nor is it the Lord. It is Yod He Vav He. Now, as far as how it's pronounced, people can debate it. And I think really whether you're saying Jehovah, Yahweh, Yahweh, or Yahuwah, everybody's doing the best they can with a bunch of consonants and filling in vowels. But I'll tell you why I landed on Yahuwah, and really Sheila landed on it before I did, is because of the names of the prophets. And you can go to a website, behindthename.com, and look up some of the prophets' names. There are a number of them that include the name of God in their name, such as Jeremiah, Yirmiyahu. See, the part, his name, actually Jeremiah or Yirmiyahu, means Yahuwah has uplifted, but it's pronounced Yahu, that portion of God's name that's incorporated into Jeremiah's name, Yirmiyahu. Same thing with Eliyahu, Elijah. My God is Yahuwah. The pronunciation is Yahu. And Yasha-Yahu, or Isaiah, Yahuwah is my salvation. So really, it was the incorporation of the name of God in the prophets and the way it is pronounced that caused me to land on the pronunciation of Yahuwah for Yod He Vav He. And it also just kind of works out cool because I had that little intro talking about the Bermuda Triangle, and the Yahuwah Triangle just sort of, well, it rhymes with it. Okay, I'm not that deep, right? I'm telling you, this is just sort of my thought process as I'm going through this stuff. But regarding the name of God, this is early representation of some of the Hebrew, the early rendition of the Hebrew, sort of a pictograph language there. And you can go online and see like the Paleo Hebrew and the ancient Hebrew and stuff, and see different depictions for the letters of the alphabet, the Hebrew letters, and their corresponding meanings. Our letters don't mean anything. It's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? But the Hebrew letters actually have meaning. In fact, when I was taking Hebrew 101 twice, we learned that every word basically is based on like a 2 or 3 letter sheresh root word that they add prefix to, and depending on whatever the root word is, you can add prefix or suffix to it, but it'll still have the inherent meaning of the root as part of the word's meaning, but also it can contain the combined meanings of the letters that make up the word. And so we were taught that if every letter has up to 7 meanings, they say, then every Hebrew word must have 70 meanings. So it's a pretty deep language as you look into it. But what's really cool when you look at the name of God, thus spelled, Yod He Vav He, reading right to left as the Hebrews do, it's interesting. I'm going to show you something reading left to right now, what the meaning of those letters are. Of course, reading right to left in Hebrew would be hand, behold, nail, behold, excuse me. But reading in English left to right, it's behold the nail, behold the hand. That's rather interesting. That the name of our God actually talks about a hand with a nail in it. Like right from the beginning, when he first introduced himself to mankind, he was telegraphing something. He was telling us something, that there was going to be a hand with a nail in it. And even in the modern version of Hebrew, the way the letters are depicted today, you can put together interesting pictures like this. Yod He Vav He, sort of like the God-man right there. Anybody care to guess which hand we're talking about that has a nail in it? The left or the right hand? I'm sure you're probably thinking the right hand. Well, there's good reason to think that way, because you can see all through the scriptures a reference to God's right hand. Exodus 15:6, for instance. Your right hand, Yahuwah, has become glorious in power. Your right hand, Yahuwah, has dashed the enemy in pieces. Wow. Care to guess who or what is the right hand of the Father? Yeah, Yeshua, the Son. Same thing. You can take the Hebrew letters and form an interesting picture right there. And if you imagine that hand is palm facing you, it's the right hand. Yod, Shin, Vav, Ein in that case. And if you've heard some of my other teachings, you know that I've looked at the meaning of the letters of Yod, Shin, Vav, Ein and put together one of the possible meanings for the name Yeshua is the hand that destroys the establishment of the eye. And you'll see right here, I've got the all-seeing eye with a no-go sign over it right there. Yes, we have the victory in Yeshua, the right hand of the Father. We see in Isaiah 41:10, don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand. So we are victorious through Yeshua, the right hand of Yahuwah. How cool is that? I just think that's like seriously awesome.